Hey everybody, you ready for some visions? Here in Tales of
That
Arise.
vision we saw. It was as if it was meant specifically for us.
Yeah, we saw a vision last time.
Do you still think the will of Dana might be involved somehow?
Maybe it's trying to tell us something. But what?
Well, it could be supernatural. You know, like seeing dead people, messages from beyond the grave, ghost-type stuff.
That's your grand theory? That we're being haunted? Come on.
I mean, it's...
Wait. He might
Yeah.
be closer to the mark than
It's
you
not
think.
that out of the
What if
reach.
a person's thoughts and deeds were to somehow become indelibly etched into the ether of a place? And what if those with a connection could then somehow pick up on them?
You think that's what it was? Some kind of message someone left here for us?
I am merely entertaining the possibility. Whether it was Dana's will, or somehow connected to the Sovereign and Maiden's powers.
Everyone's all like, well, when
I do not know.
Dolim says
Okay,
it sounds
back
so
to the set.
reasonable.
You're saying that if a place is full of enough astral energy, it can somehow show us events that happened centuries ago?
More to the point, how does that much astral energy gather in one place anyway? Seems unlikely it happened naturally.
Whatever it was, it survived here intact for 300 years. Whoever left it for us, the strength of their intent is beyond doubt.
The strength of their intent.
Alright. So... Hold on a second. Oh. There we go. Just curious if there has been any... Doesn't look like any quests have popped up. Alright. Okay, so let's continue the main plot. Sadly, there's no fast travel point there. Which means I do have to use up some of my precious energy to get from here to there. But maybe... Ah, there we go. One fight evaded. As a journal, unless I have to. If I fight everything once, I should be okay. Oh, this one's... This one is properly set up to block my passage. Thank you. I need some heavy hitting here. Thank you. And this should kill him. And there's that guy. So I do think we'll have another run with the Lady in Red. She's made her one appearance and has manipulated some things. So a second showing of her does seem like it will fit. Not bad. I only had to do one fight to get through here. Not bad on me. it's interesting because the wedge clearly isn't like this part of things. So it's, you gotta wonder where that aspect of their technology is coming from. Is it like on Rena? Alright.
Soon, we might very well learn the truth behind Shion's thorns, as well as my own past. I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens.
Alright, the only way is
I'm
forward.
determined to save Shion and Dana. Nothing I learn can change that.
Whee! Forbidden Zone research area.
Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there.
Yeah, this looks like where we
Curious what
were.
find.
That's the room you visited in your
Yeah.
past, right? Sure. We can check it out. This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised?
I'm
at
not
this point?
surprised.
Looks pretty deserted.
Everything's up and running, though.
It might give us a new lead.
See, they got glowing graphs and circly things. Tubes.
I think I can make this work.
Ooh, look at that fancy symbol.
Well, can you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. Let's see. A composite being capable of controlling Danon astral energy so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure taking the form of a Danon. Codename Sovereign.
Ooh.
Sovereign.
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the Master Cores. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the Maiden and the Lords, too.
About the Lords? Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renan citizens. In other words, it may be that all Renans are unwittingly being made subject to some kind of grand scheme.
That does seem to make
What about the
sense.
Sovereign? Does it say anything else?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would
Well,
require
it's hundreds of years of records, so.
Wait,
What is it?
Maybe.
Did you find something?
it's a list of names with the title Test Subjects.
Oh,
Sovereign.
yeah, all of your friends who
It's your
died.
call.
Those millennia people.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait, I think I've found one that was successful. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
Dun, 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 dun. It's that thing you knew about Alphen.
They re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Alphen.
They did the things you thought they were going to do. I think.
It's fine, really. What about the others? Was I the only one?
So is
Test
Volrun going to
subject
show up?
number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Volron.
Dun dun dun.
Volron? But that means...
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
But does that mean he's a
the last
Danet?
one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
Man, many thousands must have died then.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
That's a good question.
Upon victory, the sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. So we were told. But according to these records, there have only ever been 2 sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown contest. It's all lies, including the part about the sovereign residing in Rena. The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler.
Dun dun
It
dun.
must always have been devised for some other purpose.
Yes, we have suspected that.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the Sovereign, then who was it?
Oh, Law.
Crown
You and your
contests have been
fantasy
held
gel
this
you
whole
must be
time, in
somehow
spite of the
gotten
fact
for
that
your
there was
hair.
already a sovereign. Me. Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie.
They thought,
The same
for all they
person
knew, that
unwilling
you were
to bet is
dead.
behind all this.
The Red Woman?
It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the
Yeah, she's
mastermind
probably
behind
just an
this
agent
scheme.
of the greater manipulating force.
She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan homeworld.
Where none of you have been.
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
What about the data records? Is there no other information that could help us?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their endgame is, unfortunately. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
I'll do that.
So this is where Alphen became the Sovereign, and Volron as well. The
I mean, it's
significance of
empty. I don't know if this place
location
is
would suggest-
abandoned. It's clearly up and running, it looks like.
Here turned on too.
We should look through them.
And I
They
mean,
might
they got
contain valuable
I
information.
got plants going. I guess evil
Only
genetically
2
modified
sovereigns
plants?
in over 300 years. So why has the experiment only succeeded twice in all this time? And if that's the case, why keep on doing it? Was there really no other way? Or could there be some other reason?
Dohalim.
He's trying to work things out. I think no, these are
Forgive me.
good questions.
Alphen.
I'm fine. I'm just a little shaken, that's all. I knew what I was already, so it's not like it's a surprise or anything. But it's strange. I've got all this rage inside of me, but I don't even know who it's for. I'm scared that I'll put a face to it, just to have someone to blame.
If that were to happen, then No. Then we'd help you fight it. Before you ever got that far. Wouldn't we, everyone?
Yeah. We wouldn't just sit by and watch you spiral out of control.
That's right.
Only we
No
would
one
let
can
Law
be
do that.
Consumed by hatred.
If you ever start to lose your way, you can count on us to guide you
Oh,
back.
Law, you're such a...
To remind you
it's
where
just-
home is.
I mean, there might be some reason I'm missing there, and I kind of hope there is. It really throws me off.
Thank you, everyone. I think I'll be okay now.
For the people of Lenegis, the Forbidden Zone is the stuff of dreams. Yet here I am, standing within its hallowed halls.
It's off limits even for lords, then? Talk
Well,
about
that makes
an
an interesting
expensive
question
fun.
then about who
Being
were the people
exclusive
that
is one
worked
thing,
here.
But how many important facilities let in only the Sovereign? Doesn't that seem a little strange?
Strange doesn't cover it. If it was only one room, maybe. But a place on this scale? How did they keep it from falling into ruin? Whoever the Sovereign is, they can't manage the upkeep of this whole place themselves.
Ooh,
Did
robots?
no one ever talk about it when you were growing up?
No, not that I can remember. Then again, Sovereigns and Forbidden Zones weren't exactly breakfast table conversations.
The Forbidden Zone is a hallowed place, at one with the Sovereign's authority, grounds of the one true ruler who presides over all Renans. That is what we believed this place to be. No.
Or maybe those who got to work here
believe it was.
never left.
But now, it is finally time to discover this area's true purpose, and why it was kept hidden behind the scenes for so long.
Alright, let's take a little peek. Lords! Level 3 authority. So it's just based on their physical and mental aptitude for the astral stuff. Powers. Okay. Full on. And the risk is the last successful subject. Itself a failure. New protocols. Plan 2 will proceed. We test and handle the guys from this Lord. Okay. Master cores. Let's run the 6 elements. Yes, the dark master core stays formed. Force field crystals. And the extent they're allowed to is determined by their own individual strength. Oh, they've updated. That is a new update. This place isn't that abandoned. Increased physical load on host body, it produces increased astral energy emissions. So there we go. They're basically like, yeah, we have to enslave them and work them to the bone to get their energy best. The beatings will continue. Control the astral energy conversions. Chief by placing the sun classified essential personnel. Zones. Okay. Pathways. Mana. Which realm? Okay, so there's a biological spirit vessel in this place too, or on Rena, one of the two. I'm not quite sure there. Well, yeah, this is being updated for what we did. prisoners. There we go. So this is what we had put on Alphen here. Ah, okay, and they could only make the one. Yeah, how? Sheer governance. That tells us nothing. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't exactly say how, except to imply if you beat somebody enough, they lose their free will. I guess? $239D crest. The units possess equal affinity for every astral element. Interesting. So Alphen has aptitude for all the elements? Okay, so no. Even then they expect that the Sovereign will not have the dark energy needed. Oh, if they're good friends, apparently it makes it work better. Apparently his friend from the past was why he went rampant. Returned to the original household. Okay, so then I guess she stopped being a maiden, had a family. Okay. Okay, so some information was made clear. Some was not. Oh, hello. She's the final phase. Ooh, a chest. With a grape gel. Okay. So, very recently abandoned. Got some life bottles. They haven't done anything with this in 300 years. Another vision. Alright. Then after the vision, I suppose we'll take our break.
Maori, I...
Don't talk. I have to do this. I gave you my word that I'd help you return to Dana. The next time you open your eyes, you'll be home.
But you...
My place is here with my people. I still have a duty to fulfill. I'm sorry for what you've endured. Rena never should have dragged you into this. It's not your burden to bear.
But...
The mask contains a sedative. It should keep your mind from tearing itself apart any further. Let yourself go to sleep. This should help with the pain.
Time to go, Elfin. Farewell.
You've been drugged. Space drugs.
His injuries are worse than I thought. Short-term treatment isn't going to cut it. I'll have to switch the healing pod to long-term hibernation mode. The chance of surviving hibernation's less than 10%? And worse, long-term use of the mask carries a high risk of damaging his mind and nervous system. But...
Wait, how is that worse? Oh, I see. It's making the situation
Lennox
even
will be
worse.
nothing but ashes, and this starship along with it.
It's not worse than dying. It's just an additional factor that's making the whole situation worse.
But if doing this will grant you even the slightest chance, I have to try.
10%'s not that bad. Better than 1 in a million.
I hope it's enough. Please, live for me, Elfin.
I mean, if you were told, hey, you're dying, but we have a 10% chance to save you if we put you in the pod, I mean, you'd go into the pod.
That vision. It must have been from when Naori helped Elfin escape Lennox.
She sure went above and beyond the call of duty.
Even with Lennox crumbling down around her, she chose to stay put with her people.
Actually, no, this reminds me of another comment I wanted to make. We've seen the past.
It was all the result of one agonizing
Shion, your
decision
outfit
Naori
has
made to
nothing
save
to
your
do
life.
with what the Renan seemed to be wearing at the time.
Yeah. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't even be alive today. I owe her everything. More than I could ever hope to repay.
Now that you know how she felt, how do you plan on honoring her wishes?
She kept her promise. If the Renan people she fought so desperately to protect are at risk from a malevolent force, then I owe it to her to carry on her fight. Naori was the one who put that mask on me. And made me Iron Mask.
She did it to prevent your soul from tearing itself apart.
Alright, well, interesting revelation.
Pain as a result.
We've,
But more than anything,
got some
she
interest.
wanted you to survive. And you did.
I'm not sure how much it advanced our real knowledge of what's going on. It offered some depth, but we're left with many mysteries still. Alright, but we will take our break here. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Hit that bell for notifications. If you feel generous, you can always follow me on Twitter. Don't post a lot there, but I try to. Or you can throw me a book on Patreon. And, sometimes when I start a new game, I'll ask for suggestions. Talk to you all later. Bye.